So, welcome to today's Shamans Directory live event. Thank you for joining us today. I am Tricia Bennett. I am from the Northeast coast of the United States, and I'm one of the founding members of Shamans Directory. And it is always my honor to be one of the hosts of our events. I always look forward to sharing this time together. Before we begin, I'd like to let you know a little bit about who we are at Shamans Directory. Shamans Directory is a nonprofit global online platform dedicated to making shamanic earth-based services accessible to anyone seeking guidance and support on their path to health and wellness. Our vision is to unite medicine men and women from around the world, where together as colleagues we create a safe space for sharing shamanic lineage-based wisdom, medicine, healing, and teaching. Whether you are curious about the world of shamanism or actively seeking healing and teaching, we are here for you. We hope that our offerings inspire you to integrate shamanic earth-based practices into your everyday life. We warmly invite you to visit our website at shamansdirectory.com to learn more and to join our global community. By signing up for our newsletter, you will stay informed about upcoming events and other offerings from the greater shamanic community. If you are a social media person, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Shamans Directory. And I will put all of the links to how to find us in the chat during today's program. Please note that we do not take questions out loud during our events, but you're welcome to share your comments or questions in the chat, and we will do our best to get to all of them during today's program. So I am delighted today to introduce you to Eva Eagle Tree from Canada. And if you want to just say a quick hi, Eva, so people can see you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So happy to be here. Thank you, Tricia.
And today's theme is Into Me I See, a shamanic exploration and body mapping journey. And before we start, for those of you who do not know Eva yet, I'd like to take a moment to tell you just a little bit about her. Eva Tree is an earth-based shamanic energy practitioner who is dedicated to helping others alchemize dis-ease and pain from unresolved trauma into vibrant health, unconditional love, and heart-centered purpose. A student of shamanic healing arts for the past 25 plus years, Eva carries the wisdom of many teachers. She is a Mesa carrier in several lineages, including the Conchis Rainbow Lineage, as received by Maestro Puma, Fredy, Quispe, Singona. Ever evolving, Eva is committed to growing and honing her skills in the vast and ancient energy technologies so that she may be of the best service to her community and the world. In addition to being an honored practitioner on our directory, Eva is also one of the amazing hosts on our Shamans Directory Summit team. So, welcome, Eva. We're happy to have you with us today.
Mm. Thank you so much. Wow. What a joy, what a pleasure to be here in this sacred time, this sacred space with this beautiful community. Thank you to each of you for arriving and manifesting this moment with me with Shamans Directory. I'm so grateful for Shamans Directory for this vision that really keeps gathering, and inviting each of us to this central fire of learning, of witnessing, of sharing, of teaching. So it's been a great source of inspiration for me, and I'm delighted to be here. I'd love to offer a little bit of sacred smoke, a little smudge for all of us. whatever time zone we're in right now, wherever we're arriving from, just inviting us to call ourselves fully present. And so I've got some cedar, some sage here. Maybe you can hear this crackling cedar as these prayers are being lifted up. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful smoke. Allies. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For inviting us, reminding us, helping us remember to be present. Yeah, so the invitation for today and the inquiry is intimacy. It's this powerful and living word, intimacy. And when I, step by step on my path of my ever becoming as a shamanic being, as a person who's seeking healing, this intimacy, this invitation into me, I see, has continued to be a powerful, powerful theme. And more I begin to think about intimacy as this literacy of energy and a fluency, if you will, of a way in which we can show up for ourselves and be generous with ourselves, where we can meet ourselves with grace and compassion and generosity. And so, I wanted to just come and say hello and be in the intimacy of our shared space today. This intimacy whereby we are showing up for each other. And in doing so, we are showing up for ourselves. And I know that so many of us are teachers, are healers, are shamanic practitioners, in whatever way we are in service to our community. We need this gentleness, this intimacy with ourselves first, because this healing path that I believe each of us are on, because we're finding ourselves here, we're finding ourselves in this moment together. Each of us are being called to be ever more intimate with ourselves and to be so courageous with how we are willing to show up for ourselves. And I will say that in the many years I have been offering healing sessions and service to my community, one of the most profound things that we can offer our clients, but also offer our beloveds, our families, anyway, our relational field, is presence and witnessing. And with that witnessing of what is showing up, we are, invoking our senses. We're invoking the intimacy into me, I see, because we need to have the willingness to dive deep within our own emotional field, our own experiences, our own, densities in some ways, to be able to meet the experiences of our life, which are, for many of us, can be traumatic. I think all of us, I know, I believe all of us hold various shock or trauma in our bones, in our tissue, and and so this idea today that I'm bringing forward is, how do we, with intimacy for ourselves, with willingness, how do we um, allow ourselves to perceive the essence of emotion and go deeper and wider in our own capacity for intimacy? And how do we begin to see and feel and perceive ourselves as beings of light, as beings, um, with the inner cosmos. If you think of it, as within, so without, as above, so below. How do we tap into our own ability to witness and show up for ourselves? Show up for ourselves so that we can, hone in and witness at a microcosmic level, so that we can actually go in and at a cellular level and, into our bones, into our tissues, and find the ways that emotion may be stored there, or maybe trauma is stored there. Find the ways that, we may be in a fight or flight pattern. We might be stuck in a freeze. And yeah, so the model that I work with is that, um, you know, we're always calling forth the innate intelligence within our body system. We're always calling forth this incredible majesty, this incredible, I want to even say a star system, because we're made of stars. We're made of this material of the mystic. And as shamanic practitioners, you know, how important is it to lean into this in our own body temple, lean into it with our willingness to witness ourselves first, and meet that we find with love, with generosity, with compassion. And from that place, of course, we can open that service to others. I think we all know, as practitioners, as students of the mystic, that, our capacity to show up for others is in direct relationship with how deeply we can meet ourselves. And so that question of our emotional literacy, the willingness for us to be intimate with ourselves first, is really about how do we become uh, deeper into relationship with everyone, with ourselves first, yes, but then yes, or yes, that intimacy with ourselves translates as this beautiful, energetic rippling that informs our body temple, informs our connective tissue, our fascia, into our field, into this space, into this room, into our families, our beloveds, our community. Yeah. So I would love to offer a little prayer, and then we're just going to jump into a little practice of inviting ourselves to be more intimate in this moment with ourselves and with each other. Because, arriving here, we are, We are connecting through the crystal of the computer. We're connecting through this portal of technology that's truly amazing. And so how amazing that, my heart gets to meet your heart in this moment, and that each of us gets to arrive ever fully, more and more present. So, yeah, I'd love to offer a little prayer of our presencing and our arriving and our infinite potential for becoming. Mm. Many of us are Mesa carriers. If you are a Mesa carrier, if you have a medicine bundle, I invite you to hold it, or holographically, see it, imagine it, maybe it's open. But whatever altar you have in front of you, and maybe most importantly, the altar of your own, your own self. But yes, if you have one, beautiful. I'm seeing people's beautiful medicine bundles. Thank you for sharing. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Even this, we're. It's like we're showing our hearts right here. We're showing and sharing the energy of our medicine bundle in this moment. Yeah. So thank you. So let's just anchor our feet into our beautiful Mother Earth, our beautiful Pachamama. And you can close your eyes if you wish. Take a deep breath and really let the high frequency of this inhalation begin to bless and touch your body temple. Just exhaling with a sigh if you feel to, releasing any tension in this moment. Breathing in again. Calling yourself fully present in this moment. Exhaling with gratitude. Pachamama. Pachakamak. Wirakochan. Hampoi, hampoi, hampoi. Beautiful Pachamama. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth, for holding us in this moment, in this sacred time, in this sacred space. Thank you for blessing our breath within each thousandth of a second, and reminding us, inviting us to be ever present in the miracle of our life, in the miracle of our body temple, our wasi. Apakuna, great mountain spirits, we call on you today to be present with us as doctors, as holy, holy mountains. Come, come, come. Come within the portals of our mesa, the portals of our altars. Thank you for your protection, your guardianship, your wisdom, inviting us ever and always more present. Thank you, thank you. Nus the Kuna, the beautiful divine feminine, the energy of water and springs, the coaches of the world. Hampui, come, come, come. Join us in this beautiful gathering of intimacy. Calling in all of our guardians, our angels, and great creator, you of 1,000 names, great mystery, God, goddess, all the beautiful, beautiful seen and unseen allies. Come, come, come to this space, to the blessing of our medicine bundle. Come here, all of our healed, fully healed ancestors. Thank you for the blessings of our life, to find ourselves in this present moment. calling in whatever spirit animal allies wish to be with us in the sacred space today. Come, come, come. Hampoi, hampoi, hampoi. Pachamama, thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful opportunity to explore intimacy, to explore our body mapping, to explore and call ourselves into Munai, love, unconditional love and will. Thank you. Hampoi, hampoi, hampoi. And just breathing a deep breath. We're going to bring 3 breaths through our mesas, through the altar of our medicine bundle, and through our own hearts. And we're just going to share that in this relational space with each other. Breathing in. Once more. Yes. Saminchai, Talunchai, Kalpunchai, Yuwarchai. Hampoi, hampoi, hampoi. Awesome. And so, wow, can you feel that? All of our allies are with us. You know, we just exponentially got bigger, we got wider, we got more active in the field, more joy, more delight. Yeah. So I wanted to introduce this idea of mapping through the lens of intimacy, through this idea of dropping in and, you know, in and down into our body. And, you know, why would we do this? Of course, the reason that I'm proposing this type of practice is because we want to finesse and navigate and find a way into our inner terrain, into the, you know, the emotions, into the stories, into the songs, and access our way into this inner terrain with compassion, with love, with generosity. And what I know from from being so many years in the healing field is just that. You know, just witnessing, for instance, what the story in your liver is holding, that can be the catalyst. That can be enough to wake this body part up. Wake this body part up and allow it to come back into relationship with our wholeness. Because we're calling in the Tawantin, the wholeness of our beingness, so that we can be Runa. We can be real human beings, integrating through our energetic centers, through our Nawe systems or our energetic eyes or our chakras, integrating through our champis, our belts of power, and integrating our action, our young kai, they would say in the Andean tradition, is our ability to be in sacred labor and be in our action, and our yachai, our wisdom, and our, you know, how can we ground this force of our mind to become cosmic intelligence. We need to ground that in through our heart so that it can integrate and it can become part of our action. And so why do we do all this? We do this to release density in our body. We do this to bring forth joy. We do this to help ourselves remember that we're here to thrive. We do this to increase our capacity as energetic beings and, you know, wake up and invoke the intimacy of our dreams, the authenticness of who we want to be in this lifetime. So we're going to do a little practice of this body mapping, and I'll just give you a little bit of a sketch of what it is. It'll be about a 10 to 12 minute practice, and we're going to work with lemniscapes a little bit. So I don't know if you're familiar with lemniscapes, but a lemniscape is a sacred geometry sign. It's the figure 8. It is the energy of infinity, infinite potential. And many years ago, when I was studying as a biodynamic cranial sacral therapist, we're listening in the body to the fluid drive, to the fluid system and of the bones, of the tissues. And we started to realize that we were finding the lemniscate as a manifestation of health in the body. And so the proposal is, how can we find this in our own body? That was the inquiry that I was giving myself. And so the invitation is that we're going to begin to find some of that today. And we're going to start with creating a huge lemniscate to connect ourselves with the above, great creator, Viracocha, and with the heart of Pachamama. So we'll start with that. And then we're gonna work with a lemniscate within our body mapping system. And I'm gonna guide you in this practice. And we're gonna bring in and just notice, find what we find, notice what we notice, and show up with ourself as though we are the most invited, most beautiful guest in our own hearts. We want to meet ourselves in that way. And so, yeah, so we're going to find an emotion first, an emotion that wants to be met in this, exact sacred time, sacred space. And that emotion might be fear, it might be doubt, it might be overwhelm, whatever it is. We're gonna travel with that fear, and we're gonna find out where is that residing in our body, because these emotions, if we don't meet them, they can become compounded, they can become compressed and frozen or lost to us. They can really become impacted and congested. So we're going to find out then where is that in our body, and we're going to then do a little practice of waking up the intelligence of our physiology to nourish. And so at the end of this practice, I'm going to ring the bell. I hope you can hear that. And then we'll come back and we'll have an opportunity to check in. I'll love to hear, how that is for you. And so, yeah, we'll go from there. And I'm going to have a little sip. Oh, and also I want to invite you to please, if it's easy for you to, yeah, if you have some water before you, we are actually going to bless this water, pardon me, before we jump into this practice. Or if you have tea, or you can just quickly grab a little bit of water. The reason why I love to do this is it's for one thing, it brings us into sacred play. We get to be playful, the puklei of sacred play. And everything we're doing here is water-based, or it's fluid-based, the potency of life, if you will, within our own cells. And so we want to bless our water. Before we jump in, we're going to, when everyone's settled, we're going to bless our water together. And we're going to take a little sip beforehand, and then we'll take another sip afterwards. Yeah. Okay, so if you have water, wonderful. You can just hold it up. I'm just inviting each of you to close your eyes. Feel yourself coming into your inner terrain. You're holding your vessel of water. We're going to just offer a little prayer to this amazing elemental being. Water. Mama Unu Yaku Mama. The rivers of life, the waters of the planet, the waters of our beingness. Yeah. And so our prayer for water in this moment is that this water that we're holding is going to become medicine and restore and bring nourishment to every cell. So after our practice, the water is going to become even more alive, even more, as a blessing. So let's take a little sip right now and just feel that as a gift. Yeah, it's already delicious. So we're going to just blow on it, giving that essence to the water. We're going to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to put the water down. And we're going to bring our hand to our heart and one hand to our solar plexus. We're going to close our eyes, or if you want to, just having soft vision. And you're going to just take a moment now and let the spine lift so gently towards the heavens. And at the same time, just rooting down a little bit into the earth, into the chair that's holding us. And now we're going to, from this heart space where our hands are activating our Munai Sanko, we're going to send a petition up as a loop of love. We're going to just send this beautiful energy of love and gratitude to Great Creator, asking for support in this moment and blessing us as we map our body with intimacy. We send that up, and immediately it comes back to us as energy, as kausai or chi, as life force energy pouring down. And so we feel this white gold loop of love from above, pouring down into the heart, starting to accumulate and feel alive, starting to fill our heart with enthusiasm and energy, vitality. And now we're going to send down our petition to the heart of Pachamama. We're asking her right down into the ruby core of her being. We're giving our gratitude. We're saying, please support us, Pachamama. Show us our body temple. Show us our body mapping. Help us navigate. And right away we feel this ruby red coming up from the soles of our feet. And this loop of white gold from above meets this loop of red, ruby red from below, meets the heart, this rose quartz pink of self-love. Munai, we breathe in. And out with gratitude. We breathe in Pulling in high frequency Sammy, seeing our whole energy body becoming brighter like a lantern. We exhale, Anai, thank you. This third breath, breathing in, pausing at the top of the inhale. We meet ourselves and whatever emotion we find here. We exhale. And we're just going to take a moment and open the vista, our third eye, while we connect our heart with our Incan seed here. We're in the position of I am. No can kani. And so you begin to see this grid of light. And first of all, our question is, what emotion do we find here on the heart that is asking to be met? Whatever this emotion is, it might have a flavor, a taste, a sensation. Just witness and listen to what your body is telling you. And now we are going to ask the body to show us, in this inner terrain, ask the body to show us, where does this emotion reside in the body as a place that needs more energy. So where might this be stuck? For instance, if this is a fear, an old fear, ask the body to show you, what organ is this residing in? What part in the body temple? And so without judgment, again, witnessing, showing up for yourself as this beloved, welcoming, with so much kindness, just noticing whatever you're noticing. Noticing any sensation. If there's pain here, just bringing your gentle breath, acknowledging. And so I'm being drawn right now into the liver. And so I invite all of us, if we feel to visit the liver here on the right side, just underneath our rib cage. And just acknowledge her. And greet her. Feel her. So at this point, you might be feeling some discomfort. There might be some sensations. Let your body know, whatever part you're working with right now, let her know we're holding her, that she's safe or that he's safe. And now with this upper hand, we're going to bring our fingertips to our thymus gland. It's just under the clavicle. You can tap here a little bit if you want. Sometimes I bring sound. You can bring a sound. I like to bring in the Jacques breath. This is a your fingertips at the clavicle or just under the clavicle at the thymus. This is a master gland. And if you're sounding here, which I invite you to do, this sound is being offered in and down as though you are dropping a stone into your heart and the ripples are coming out. So you're giving that to yourself. We're waking up the thymus, this master gland, and I want you to smile. Bring an actual smile, just a gentle smile to your lips. And imagine you are smelling the most beautiful flower. You're inviting this flowering into the thymus gland, this fragrance, lilac or rose. Beautiful. And now this is activating up into our pituitary gland right now, between the left and right hemisphere. We're waking up our room of jewels, this powerful, profound place that is now showering down support and nourishment. First at the back of our eyes. Take a moment here at the back of the eyes. The softening of the eyes is connected to the liver. All the emotions at the liver, all that we hold, all the ways we might push ourselves too much. The back of our eyes is being washed. And now imagine, sensing, feeling that you're smiling. And this smiling is like pouring nourishment and fluid into the liver, almost like a child. It's like we're giving her love, giving her breath. And now the liver's coming into relationship through the midline with medial and lateral rotation. She's waking up. And we're just feeling now on the left side, the large intestines, and this whole ancestral field on the matriarchal side of our body, waking up and coming into relationship as it receives this smiling energy. So we're finding the lemniscape now between these two paired organs. Bringing our breath here to the breathing diaphragm. Thinking about bringing so much love to these houses, or I should say these rooms within the house of our body temple or wasi. It's like we're clearing out old debris as we breathe into the liver and the large intestines, and we start to nourish the stomach and the microbiome here. When we're connecting and blessing and noticing, holding the witnessing of the emotion that we started with, the body part that we were told to work with, and we're allowing this inner smile, this body mapping, this intimacy to fully invite that which wants to be witnessed, to be held, to be supported. And we feel ourselves supported by Pachamama, all of our unseen allies, Wirakochan. And we're going to just take one more breath here. We're going to come back to the heart, the centerpiece here of our own huge lemniscate, our connection from the divine, our connection to Pachamama. And together we're going to take 3 big breaths here and slowly, fully come back. So breathing in, Samin Chai. Exhaling, thank you. Breathing in, high frequency energy lighting up like a lantern. Exhaling. Once more, Samin Chai, pulling it in, all that we've found here. Coming to the heart, pausing, receiving. Exhaling, Anai, thank you. And now with the bell, we're going to come fully, fully present, arriving back with soft vision. Welcome back. Yeah. So I'd love to hear what your experiences might have been. What did you notice? Was that an easy exercise for you, or was that, difficult to meet yourself with so much love and compassion? Yeah, if there's any questions, we could take a little moment now and drop into that. And then we're also going to go on a little shamanic journey as well.
I'll just say this might be a moment for people to jot down a few notes. It's often nice to, when you have a journey like that or an experience like that, it can be a bit holographic. And by that, I mean it can come and go, it can leave you. And so to just jot down a few notes is always a nice idea.
Yes, and while you're arriving back and writing a couple notes down, this is our opportunity to receive our water as this magnified blessing. So let's take a moment and hydrate. And we're thinking about hydrating our cellular matrix. Yeah, so let's just take that moment. And that becomes just the most beautiful elixir of life. Okay.
I see a few comments. It says that was wonderful to do the inner work. It was beautiful and inspiring. Met with grief in the womb.
Mm,
Needed
mm,
healing. Yeah.
yeah.
Common
Yes,
place that women don't often journey to that often needs healing. Yeah. Good.
absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, as a just a little bit more about that womb space. Um, that space that as women, I believe we do need profound, deep healing. That within that healing, within that willingness to have that intimacy, to go there, we reclaim this incredible Wilka. Wilka means sacred, but it also means black light of the divine feminine. And so, these practices of intimacy and journey work and mapping that we invite ourselves into, I think really provokes profound deep healing on the tissues of our whole beingness. So yeah, it's exciting work. I love working with the womb, and I work with the womb a lot in ceremony, one-on-one practice with people, and also in ceremony groups. Yeah.
A couple of other comments.
Mm.
Someone said when you spoke about the large intestine and the matrilineal line, I was transported to Ireland, which is where my ancestral lineage is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what I have found is that the large intestine, and this is extraordinary, over years and years and years of working hands-on with people, but also remotely now too, I have found that when we tune into the large intestine, it has an extraordinary amount of information of that matrilineal uh, ancestry and lineage. And so I've had ancestors show up in the treatment space. I've had, just images. I've had clients just have spontaneous, um, memory recall. That's often when we're calling forth our ancestry. That's when they're going to arrive, and oftentimes that's when we need to clear and clean some of the grief that is um, blocking the gifts that those ancestral lines want to give us, because so many of us have taken on too much from our ancestry, and we get stuck with these overlays, with this kind of compounded, the traumas, right? And so how important is it to clear and cleanse these areas so that we actually receive the beauty, the strength, the vitality, and the gifts from the patriarchal lineage and the matriarchal lineage is profound work. So well done. I'm so glad you went to Ireland. I have Irish ancestry too. So yeah.
Couple of other comments. One says, I found a subtle thread of franticness connected to the gut, but
Mm,
also found softness to soothe and nourish that space.
hmm.
Someone else says, I was able to say hello to the disgust I carry in my gallbladder.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I want to say, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
no, you go ahead and then I'll
Yeah.
continue with comment.
Yeah. I just want to say that you know, the uh, aversions or yeah, disgust, the even the despair or the unkindness, these big emotions that can be so dense. Um, yeah, they're often held in the body, in the tissue, and um, meeting them within ourselves is so profound. It's so profound because when we are willing to have that intimate relationship or that conversation with ourselves, with our own body, if we can, ritually, spiritually move that, clear that, bless that, it opens the relational field so that disgust, that revulsion, that way, it's almost like a veil that we need to open, that will also open our perception to all our relationships. Every single relationship will be also blessed as you clear and clean this sludge in a way. So well done that you saw that and hopefully held it with tenderness and love and compassion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Disgust is a huge one, and yeah, and so with that, like if we were working deeper with that practice, I would say disgust is a place that um, we would wake up our energetic stomach even more. So that's the energy in the Andean cosmovision of yang kai, which is the ability to digest heavy, dense energy. And the thing is we're not taught this in our Western world. We're not taught that how important is it to actually become alchemical crystal beings, and that we actually have the ability to digest heavy, dense energy of fear, of doubt, of disgust, despair, jealousy, anger, right? We need to. Otherwise, that energy becomes trapped. And, first it can be trapped out here, but then over the years, it gets deeper. It can get deeper and deeper into the body and manifest as, dis-ease, right? And that's the energetic component of these judgments, this shame, right? And many times this is shame or blame or disgust that we have actually taken on, sometimes even the moment of our first breath, that trauma of being born, we maybe have taken on too much. And so this intimacy mapping is a way of actually accessing that so that we can consciously put it down, so that we can consciously alchemize it and bring our love and compassion there and digest it and transform it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really lovely. And I'm thinking how much, digesting all of this stuff makes so much room available for service, to
Mm,
be available to others when we get the gunk out of our own our own physical, emotional, energetic sphere, that we then are able to help other people to do that for themselves as well and to make that space available for joy and service. Another person says, I'm curious to hear about the power of the thymus gland and why
mm,
you chose it as a central anchor for this practice.
mm. That's a great question. Um, you know, Way back when I was in massage school, we started studying about the thymus gland, and then years, fast forward to now, um, I I'm always trying to connect and bring cohesiveness to the various practices that I'm in. So one of my weavings, if you will, is, the physiology and the science of the body connected with, the energetic body and our mystical body, our pokpo, our luminous energy field. And the thymus is, let's see, it's some traditions will even, like in the Taoist tradition, the thymus is considered a master gland, because it's connected with waking up the pituitary gland. So it has a major role in hormone function, and what I find is that when I, energetically work with this gland, my immune system absolutely receives a boost of energy. It's almost like just like that sip of water. It's like we've actually have the ability to moisten our organs, moisten and wake up this relationship, of our thymus with our pituitary, and then the pituitary cascading down and blessing and going. I mean, I like to call it the room of jewels, because it's like when I go on those journeys, I see it as the inner apothecary. The pituitary is the inner apothecary that can help you with yeah, supporting your lymph, with supporting uh, regenerative, you know tissue repair, cell repair, and especially helping us come out of a fight or flight response. So I don't think of it separately. It's more of a system within a system. It's like a way to, yeah, wake ourselves up. We can tap here if we have anxiety, for instance. We can hum, we can bless. It's also blessing and opening when we bring vibration and tone. It's blessing our whole heart and our whole heart temple. So yeah, I think our whole, the whole Munai Sonko temple, our heart temple, is all related with the thymus, and we're all in relationship. So we are biodynamic beings, and yeah, I just chose that as an entry point for today, but it doesn't have to be that entry point. You can choose, um, we could choose the thyroid, for instance, or the hyoid, or we could choose our womb, for instance. So hopefully that answers your question.
I also just want you to know that I went to Juan and Yvonne's Inca glossary, and I've been putting some stuff in the chat for people.
Beautiful.
Muna
Yes.
Yanka
Oh,
Yachai and
sweet.
Wilka, the black light energy. Uh,
Mm,
and
beautiful.
another comment, what was noticeable for me was a lack of anything that came up
Hmm.
and then the not enoughness, lack of, I'm not like
Mm,
others or lack of
mm.
esteem. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that yeah, this intimacy, right? It takes so much courage, and it's so courageous to allow ourselves the authentic experience of and the vulnerability of recognizing, wow, I don't feel anything. And that happens, that happens oftentimes, clients on the table or right here happening right now. And I think that the fact that you felt or was able to track the nothingness or the lack of, that is the harvesting. That is the profound gift of the practice, because that's actually a tremendous amount of information. And so I really invite you to bring, again, so much intimacy and gratitude to yourself that actually you saw something that was so big, um, that's calling you to your own belonging, that's calling you to embody and deepen and arrive even more fully into your home. So, bring yourself flowers, that whether metaphysical or poetic, or actual, but be generous with yourself. Be so loving. Yeah.
And there's another comment about it says also the sexual organs and root chakra stuff.
Mhm. Yes.
And there's always a lot of stuff going on there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So powerful. Yeah. Thank you for that. Again, this was one little journey. I would say that um, at our root chakra, at our sacrum, our sacrum is the three-sided bone, our tailbone. It stands for sacred in the Latin. Our sacred bone, at that root chakra, at our pelvic floor, all of our sexual organs there. And this place, this root chakra, this, seke nawe, energy eye, holds so much for all of us. And, and it's such a powerful, powerful place to bring that alchemy of transformation. And oftentimes, when I'm working with people with mentorship, we will really think about bringing the allyship of, for instance, sacred fire, Mama Nina, here, because, and not fire of heat necessarily. This can be this alchemical, white gold fire, if it's needed to burn and clear a lot of the shame and pain and sexual trauma that many of us hold here. Also, ancestrally speaking, this is so much to do with our family of origin, support or lack of support in our lives. Um, But what I love to remind people is that the sacrum, that sacred bone there, it's like the Trinity. It's like the three worlds. It's like sacred nature reminding us that we're not alone and that the sacrum pumps cerebral spinal fluid to our whole body. And that cerebral spinal fluid is the breath of life. It is the potency for our immune system and for our also our energetic, like our emotional well-being. And so how beautiful to work here. And so we could either, I invite people to, when you're practicing this, work with that alchemical fire to help clear and be an ally there, but also the beautiful river of life, that like star-strewn glacier stream that is at the sacrum that then becomes this fluid awareness of cleansing and clearing the grief, the pain, anything that you're finding down in that root chakra. And that is just such a beautiful way to work with the body mapping intimacy, is to then wash, clear, blend, bless, and feel that river of liquid light through our central channel, which of course is our central nervous system. And I could go a lot more into that just in terms of how that circulates through our brain. But I'll just say it's the web of life, our connective tissue. Yeah, our whole beingness. So thank you for that. Yeah. Okay, so is there anything else, or maybe we should jump into, our next practice? What do you think?
I think the next practice sounds good.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, with a sacred play, with the puklei, puklei means sacred play in Quechua, and it also means ceremony. So I adore that word. I adore the intimacy of that word and the invitation of that word because it invites us to be lighthearted with ourselves and um, with these deep inquiries that we jump into through the fluency of emotions and the literacy of energy, we want to have a light heart. And yeah, so I'm going to have another sip of my tea. Mm. And we are going to go on a little shamanic journey. And for this, you can sit up, you can stay, how you are. I want you to just be comfortable. I'm going to travel with the energy, my spirit animal ally of bear today. I was asking spirit who wanted to come with me today? And well, it came to me. It's like, oh, well, that's obvious. I was just given a bear skull recently, and I'm wearing this beautiful grizzly medicine. So we're going to travel with bear. I'm going to travel with bear, but you, of course, may travel with your spirit ally, animal of choice. And we are going to travel on a little journey, and we're going to call forth and meet a plant ally. And the reason why I wanted to do this after sort of meeting some of these energies, some of these denser energies in our body, is I wanted to invite each of us to come into the pureness, the pure Sami, we call it in Quechua, is a pure high frequency energy of the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. So whatever plant you end up meeting is just going to be the best. It will be perfect for you. And so we're just going to have an open heart and a playful heart and go on this journey to meet the benevolence of this beautiful being and receive a gift. And you may ask, a question, of course, whatever you need to ask. And I will be guiding you on about a 15-minute journey or so. And then when you hear the bell, we'll call you back. Okay? Yeah, is that going to work? Okay. All right. Coming back into our body temple. So finding yourself now being held, being carried by your animal ally. Perhaps on the back of the beautiful spirit bear. And she's taking you to this womb space, this pacarina, a cave deep in the earth. Allowing yourself to be carried in this way deeper, deeper into the earth, into the inner world. Through the roots, the mineral soil. And bear brings you out. And you find yourself in a beautiful meadow. You're following a path through this meadow into the forest. You're finding your senses becoming alive. Your sense of smell. And up ahead you see this luminosity. And you hear and feel a humming, a vibration in the trees. Your spirit animal brings you here. And you are shown where to start digging into the earth. This breathing, humming frequency, this luminosity of light that's touching your own heart. Touching all that wants to be met in your heart. And as you dig, you reveal this glowing root. And as you touch this root, it becomes the most beautiful plant deva, a beautiful guardian of the plant kingdom. And she shows herself to you, this being, in her beautiful ceremonial gown, or his gown, perhaps. You see the flowering, you see the essence. And this plant being is offering you a gift. to help tend to that which is on your heart. And perhaps you put this plant, a piece, into your mouth, receive it in your body, or into your navel, your belly button, a petal. And ask this plant a question, something that you need to know. And as you receive the answer, as you receive this information, start to perceive the luminosity that was offered. Come into your body as light. Maybe it's the firelight of transformation that is needed. Maybe it's the light from Inti Taita, Father, Son, that's needed in your body temple. Maybe you're receiving the light from the moon. Maybe it's the green light of the forest, the essence of this plant, healing the tissue. Whatever it is, we just say thank you. Feeling this luminosity. And going wherever it's needed in our body. We see this light spreading through our blood, circulating from our heart. And with so much gratitude, we say thank you, Anai Anai, to this beautiful plant being. And we come back on the back of our spirit ally, our animal ally. And we're brought back through the forest. Through the cave, the Pacarina, the root system. And as the rattle gets a little bit faster, really calling yourself fully, fully, fully into the body temple again. Coming back and wiggle your toes, your fingers. And with the bell, welcome back. And taking a moment Yeah, to arrive. Stretching your shoulders. Having a sip of water. I always love to have some water after a journey, just hydrate. If you have some floral water, that flowering is another way of welcoming ourselves back. And yeah, bringing beauty. A little agua de Florida. So I would love to hear if anyone feels to share some of their experience. What did they find? What gifts? Anything you feel to share? Any questions? Yeah.
So if people are able to share in the chat, anything that you would like to share, anything that you experienced from our journey today, from the experience of tapping into your body and clearing out whatever is in there or has been in there that's been blocking you. That was such a beautiful practice. I think we as healers and teachers are often so interested in or so driven to serve others that we forget.
Yeah.
Do that inward journey for ourselves. We journey for other people all the time. But going in and clearing
Absolutely.
out the gunk
Yeah.
is such a great practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anybody who people say very inspiring, wonderful journey, beautiful. Um, oh, someone said a healing magical dandelion revealed herself, reminding her of her childhood. That's beautiful. And then the
Mm,
tall green plant that erupted into flowers facing each other. Uh,
mm,
an invitation to go deep into the darkness,
mm.
uh, and unafraid. Um,
Beautiful.
a beautiful plant mullein, um,
Fabulous.
which is
Yeah.
wonderful. Yep. And somebody said that her bowels were very active in the beginning. And
Ah,
that's a perfect thing to happen when you journey down there and wake up your intestines. The
absolutely.
perfect thing to
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to invite you with the, with this beautiful plant ally energy that you've just met. Uh, with the intimacy of that connection, bring your creativity, bring your imagination, bring your willingness to be in relationship with this powerful being, because it showed up for you, even if you didn't recognize, who it was. In other words, what lavender or dandelion, or even if you didn't recognize it, I invite you to write about it afterwards, do some journaling, perhaps paint it or draw it. And if you did recognize it, and oftentimes, what I find with working with this kind of plant energy, meeting this plant like this, is it's often the so-called weeds that we find in our own front yards, that can be so healing to us. And so, yeah, whatever it was that showed up, you can bring it in. You can put it physically on your altar, or you can, if there's some dried component, find out more information. I recently received a powerful healing from cedar, and in fact, I'm still in that. But I was given so much information, and when I said, well, how do I work with you? I just feel like I've got this much so far. So, I was told to drink some. I was told to use it as a Olympia to clear my energy field. I was told to use it as an offering for ofrendas that I give to the water. Um, so this is all about relationship. We met a plant today to bring in the buoyancy and the beauty of the metaphor of how it feels when we can irrigate our own body, right? Our own sacred seed. And so the plant nation, plant kingdom, our plant relations are these wise, wise, wise brothers and sisters, our beings of light that are reminding us that we have this potential of flowering, of growing. And so even if you just felt a color, or you just received the luminosity, of how it was to be in relationship of that plant spirit, that's so beautiful. So yeah, everyone sees or feels differently, and there's no right way to meet a plant ally. Just so you know, it's all imperfection. So
And
yeah.
I'll just say that the people that are here today can see what's in the chat, but the
Mm.
people who will be watching this in replay can't. So I'm
Ah,
just going to read a couple of the plants that showed up so that the people who are watching this later can see the great variety of plants that showed up. So ginger with
mm,
her glowing golden light, cabbage, which was ancestrally interesting and feels right. Nettle in a
mm,
beautiful, light, energetic way. Ginseng root,
mm,
which showed up with a light heart and silly giggles, it says. A plant unexpectedly showed up in a hidden place in this person's garden. A bleeding heart plant showed up. They grow wild here, but I don't know much about them.
mm.
It's often interesting how plants will show up and be perfectly aligned with something that's going on in your body. And so what
Absolutely.
Eva said about look into the plant that appeared for you and see what it has to offer you. You will likely be surprised.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So the ongoing invitation for each of you, for each of us, is to greet ourselves and meet ourselves with the willingness to be so intimate with what we find, within this garden of our body temple. How can we, um, clear and cleanse the density in our home, in our body, in our wasi, we say, so that we can really become channels of the divine, so that we can really invoke the energetic literacy and the emotional fluency and the capacity to, what we say in the tradition, drive the living energy, right? That's what we want, is we want to have the ability to wake up the capacity in the cellular matrix within our bodies, so that everything is having the opportunity to manifest in its highest frequency and highest vibration of health and wealth and, dynamic creative expression. And so, I'm so delighted, so pleased that you're here with me and with Shamans Directory. And may you take anything from this that may have resonated, and, play with it. Give yourself permission to play, give yourself permission to body map, work with the thymus perhaps in the way that I said, or use a new point of entry, trusting yourself. And I invite you to really listen for and call forth the lemniscape between any paired, between our arms, for instance. And we're looking for relationship through the central channel of our beingness. And then you can also think of this as, our ancestral tree, or the channel that connects us to the divine and Pachamama, that opens us and connects us as bridges in this lifetime, as chaka. Chaka means bridge. And so, yeah, I'm just delighted that we got to play. We got to meet Bear, or your spirit animal. We got to go on a little journey together, and we got to clear away, some of these veils or overlays, that may have showed up with doubt or fear or despair or disgust. We got to like kind of clean the cobwebs of our beingness a little bit, and we got to hydrate ourselves, and remind ourselves that we are fluid beings, and that water is life, and water is also light, and that this body mapping is actually a tangible way that we're connecting with our own light, our own infinite potential, while at the same time irrigating and connecting our seed of potential, our drop of the divine. So may you go forth and flower, beautiful garden beings. I think, is that feeling complete, or?
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. I want to thank Eva especially for your presence and your support and generosity. Your kindness and authenticity are always inspirational. And
Mhm.
there were a couple of people who said in the chat that they have worked with you either remotely or in person, and what a deeply beautiful experience it is to work with you. So we want everyone to know that links to contact Eva are in the chat. So, to everyone who joined us today, thank you again. We wish you a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you again soon at one of our next live events. Take care.
Yeah, blessings on your day.